Hi everyone. Today I wanted to go over one of the main reasons for TMS claim denials. As we audit TMS practices, and that's across all states, all TMS providers, we see one of the major reasons for claim denial is authorization issues, missing authorization, not correct authorization. So lots and lots of claim denials we see in our audit for authorization issues for TMS services. Let's talk about how you're going to go about getting the authorization. So insurances have prescribed forms you're going to fill out for authorization. You will submit claims either through insurance portal, or you will fax it to the authorization fax number. Also, keep in mind that some insurances, even though it's broad like Blue Cross Blue Shields or Anthem, the patient might actually be connected to a separate home plan, and the authorization request will need to be then directed at the home plan. So make sure when you're verifying the patient, how the coverage is set up for that patient to send authorization. Now, once you send in the authorization, be very alert about if the authorization has been issued or not. Some insurances choose to fax you the authorizations. Some insurances will have them ready in their portal, and some insurances will send, a lot of insurances will send authorization by mail. For insurances who are sending their authorization through fax, of course, check your fax every day. Lots and lots of important information come through the fax, whether it would be patients sending their information or insurance sending a letter to you through fax. So check your fax every day. If the TMS authorization for any insurance is produced on their portal, you will need to regularly, every day, check the portal to see status of the authorization or the status of the request that you have submitted for TMS authorization. Now, there are many insurances who will send TMS authorization through just regular paper mail. It is incredibly important to check the mail every day, and not only to check the mail, but sort the mail. If you check the mail and leave it on your desk for next day, lots of things can happen. It can fall into the trash and your cleaning people may throw it out, or it just gets lost in translation somewhere. So when you're checking the mail, open each mail, not only, of course, to check for TMS authorization or any other authorization you have requested for a service, and then scan it in right away into patient file. Again, if you keep it for next day, lots of things can happen to a piece of paper, right? So you don't want to later on, if you open a mail and you see it's an authorization, immediately scan it into your software, into patient's file, so there's no chance of anything getting lost. Lots of important stuff come through the mail as well. If you have signed up with insurance to receive paper checks, that's going to come through the mail. And with paper check comes paper EOB. Lots of insurances, you might be set up to receive EFT payment directly in your bank, but the EOBs come through the mail. So again, when you're opening the mail, sort it the same day you open it. We do see lots of TMS authorizations getting lost in the system for practices that we audit. When you're checking for authorization, how are you checking? Because if you're checking on the portal only, keep in mind, portals are not always updated with the recent updates, news, or authorization rules. They lag behind many weeks, or they may not update their portal at all. So if the portal is telling you when you enter the TMS code and the portal is telling you that authorization is not needed, double check on that, because every time we're auditing a practice and we see a TMS claim rejected and I see a note in the system saying auth not required, it kind of makes me nervous exactly to see how much follow-up was done. Of course, if you see it in the portal, take a screenshot, scan it, attach it to patient file, but call the insurance as well. And when you're calling the insurance, make sure you're talking to a representative from the authorization department. Because if you don't, if you're talking to a representative from claim processing or provider's department or wherever, they are not going to have the correct information. And the chances of getting incorrect information increases by many folds if you're not talking to the right person in the insurance. So if portal says insurance authorization is not required, take that extra step, call insurance authorization department and make sure they're saying the same thing as the portal is. If the representative is telling you authorization is not required, make sure you have given all the information they need to give you the correct answer. Patient's information, first and last name of patient, the patient insurance ID, date of birth, doctor's individual NPI, your group tax ID, where will this service take place, your office address or the place of service, right? Make sure that you're giving complete information to the authorization representative to get the correct answer. Document the representative's name, the date, the time you called, and a call reference number, and exactly what the representative said. Don't reword it. The reason being, when representatives are speaking with you, they are being recorded. You are being recorded. So put down exactly word for word what the representative is telling you, because if claim is rejected, so if you are told no authorization is required by the portal and by the authorization department, first view TMS claim for that patient, follow it very carefully to see if they're being paid and if they're being paid at the correct rate. If there's any issue, you're going to need all the documentation I just talked about to appeal their decision. I'm telling you, in my previous video, I've talked about where we actually have authorization. It's not like we documented no authorization required. We had physical copy of authorization, and insurance paid for certain visits and didn't pay for certain sessions. And we had to fight for months to get payments for all TMS sessions. So it's so important to keep all information exactly where it needs to be so you can access it immediately. The claim appeal I just talked about, finally they paid for all TMS sessions except for one session out of 36. And that to get paid for that one session out of 36 sessions, we had to appeal 7 times. And just about a week ago, we received payment for that. So we have fought for many months. Again, there's some denials you just can't avoid, and that's just extra burden on the practice. Let's not make it any worse on us by not documenting correctly or not having all the information we need at our fingertips. So this is one of the big reasons we find for TMS claim denials when we're auditing TMS practices, and I wanted to shed some light on this issue. Thank you. I hope this information helps all of you.